Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of ETBU Extra. Hello, I'm Mike Mitke, voice of ETBU Tiger Athletics, and we're on an hour earlier this week just because we've got some baseball and softball to play this afternoon. And boy, is the sunshine a welcome in East Texas after almost 2.5 weeks of rain and ice and snow that's postponed games and canceled games for all our outdoor activities at ETBU. Today on the show, we'll be talking Tiger softball, Tiger baseball, and Tiger tennis as well. And right off the top of the show, live from CC's in Marshall, we're going to talk with one of the ETBU Tiger softball players, Lacey Lindsey, who is a sophomore at ETBU. And Lacey, I know as we look outside today here at CC's, you're glad to see the sunshine.
Absolutely. It's nice to finally be able to get on the field and see some sun.
So what's it like to spend a lot of time in the gym trying to get your swings in, trying to get some fielding in?
It's been tough for us. It's easy to kind of fall into patterns that you normally wouldn't fall into when you're out on the field. But we've done a good job of, not creating bad habits of just taking the same cuts in the cage in the gym. But I'm really proud of my team of, not letting us let the weather affect us. We've, gotten a few games in and we've really adjusted well.
Lacey, I saw a video posted on Facebook or YouTube last week when all the rain was happening. Y'all went out and practiced your sliding. Explain to me what happened there.
There were some nice mud puddles out on the intramural field, and we just took advantage of that and decided to go outside no matter what because we were tired of the dang gym and we wanted to get outside. So we took advantage of that and did some sliding in the mud. So it was, fun, but we got some work done at the same time.
If you haven't seen the video, it's posted on YouTube or Facebook on the ETBU softball page. It's them getting out and just practicing a head-first slide in the water, in the muck on the intramural fields at ETBU. Visiting with Lacey Lindsey, a member of the Tiger softball team. She's a sophomore. Last year, she was a freshman All-American, I should say. And let's go back and just talk about last year's season. When you came to play softball for ETBU, did you expect to have a year like you had?
Absolutely not. I really just wanted to come in and do my job, whatever that ended up being. I didn't really know coming in if I was going to play or not, and I really didn't care. I just wanted to help my team do whatever it took to be successful, and it ended up being playing in the games and stuff, and that was fine with me, and I just went up there and did my job and did what I could to win games.
Of course, I want to talk about the team aspect of Tiger softball. Last year, you had a successful season because of all the great team members you had around you. Is that correct?
Absolutely. They were the number one part of my success. I would not have had near the success that I did if it weren't for them.
Now, I want to take you back to the third game in the Super Regional last year against Claremont Mudscripts. It's a video that has over 1,500 views on YouTube. It's a home run that you hit to allow the Tigers to win the Super Regional. Kind of explain to me your feelings after thinking back. That it really happened to me, that I hit a 2-run home run to move us on into the national championship tournament.
Yes, it's still unreal to me. It's still a great feeling. I love being able to look back on that success and seeing how it helped my team. But, then again, it's a lot of pressure this year, because I want to live up to my potential that I saw and realized last year. But, it's a new season. I have to realize that sometimes things just don't always go your way like it did last year. But, now I know that really can happen, so I have to stay positive.
Visiting with Lacey Lindsey here today on ETBU Extra. Now let's move forward. Last year's in the past. Let's move to this year's Tiger softball team. You're 8-0. Unfortunately, many games have been postponed or canceled because of the crazy weather we've had in East Texas. How is the team attitude with games being canceled, games being postponed, getting ready to play, not being able to play? How is the attitude of the team right now?
Honestly, I think it has been almost, in a way, a good thing. We are more ready to play than ever because we haven't been able to play very many games. So I think we are just so excited to finally get on the field, and we are ready to win. We haven't been able to compete very much. That was a big component of our gym practices is, competing, even if it's just a little silly game that we play. We just want to compete, and that's hard to do when you can't get on the field. So we're ready, so ready.
What do you like about this year's group of Tiger teammates?
Every team is different. So this year's team is obviously different than last year's, but what I really love about this team is just we can goof around and be so silly together, but we still get work done. We still know what our job is. We can still win games, and we know that. We know when to be serious. We know when we can be goofy. And I think that's really important because we got to, keep our spirits up while the weather's been so bad. But then we know now that the sun is out, we can play. It's time to get serious. It's time to be ready to play.
Monday and Tuesday this week in Marshall, we had great weather today for your game against Wisconsin Eau Claire. What have you been able to work on this week that you're able to go outside and actually get on the grass?
We've had 2 great practices these past 2 days. It's really just been working on defense because, being in a gym with, wooden floors, that's completely different than our dirt and grass outside. So we've really been working on defense, and then also getting live at bats off of our pitchers because you can't really do that in a gym either. So that's really what we've been focusing on.
I want to take you back to last week when you was able to play 2 games against LeTourneau, and one of those games you were very successful in, hitting 2 home runs in the same inning. I don't know the answer to this. I should have asked you this before, but have you ever done that before? 2 home runs in the same inning at 2 at-bats?
No, that was a first for me.
What did that feel like going through that?
That was another great feeling, knowing that was an important inning for us. We were down. I knew I needed to step up for my team. I stayed relaxed and knew that I needed to get the job done, and that's what I did.
Let's talk about Wisconsin Eau Claire. Really don't know much about them. You just know their team from up north. They've won a national championship back in 2008. They're a quality softball team coming into play, y'all. Tell me about your expectations today's ball game.
We just know that, any team that we play has the potential to beat us at any time. So we know that we need to step up and play our game, and we know that as long as we do what we are capable of, that we can be successful.
Visiting with Lacey Lindsey, sophomore on the ETBU Tiger softball team. She's from Leander, Texas. And I want you to talk about your family history tied into ETBU, because I know you have some family who have graduated from ETBU. Talk about your family history and how it ties into ETBU.
My great-grandfather was the dean of academics. My grandfather played basketball and baseball at ETBU. My grandmother also graduated from ETBU, so it's been in the family for a while now, and it's really great coming back and meeting professors and staff that played with my grandfather or knew my grandmother or knew my great-grandfather. It's just a really cool feeling.
I'm understanding head coach Burt Wirtz of the Tiger basketball team knew your grandfather.
Yes, he did. He comes up to me all the time, says, "I've got so many funny stories about your grandfather, so I got to go talk to him about those because I bet those are pretty funny." But it's really cool knowing, oh, somebody knows somebody in my family, so it's cool.
Well, Lacey, thank you for your time today on ETBU Extra, and best to your Tigers this afternoon as you face Wisconsin Eau Claire, the Blue Golds.
Thank you so much.
All right, we've been visiting with Lacey Lindsey here on ETBU Extra today. Sophomore on the Tiger softball team. Tigers play today, 3 and 5 p.m. against Wisconsin Eau Claire. Beautiful day in East Texas. Last week when we did the show, it was just pouring down rain, and the Tigers were trying to get a third game in with LeTourneau not able to do that. Coming up next on ETBU Extra, we'll talk with the head coach of Lady Tiger softball, Janae Shirley. That's coming up next on ETBU Extra.